Okay. Welcome to this edition of the Commander's Log. It's Tuesday, 18th of June 2024. I dropped some criticisms about Alan Watts recently, and this was sort of plaguing me. This question arose about philosophical inquiry versus genuine mind skill, psychic power, even spiritual power. Philosophical inquiry is very much regarded as a mental exercise from the point of view of people who genuinely develop gong, genuinely develop, build chi, build this substance, and training via the concept of emptiness, wu wei. So there is no thought, there is no action of the mind. It's about awareness, consciousness, energy, emptiness, building, charging. Philosophical inquiry, on the other hand, although it is just a mental exercise, it's a very useful one. And I was thinking, what would Alan Watts say about me criticizing him? I wonder, from his point of view. Perhaps he may say, like, being a humble man, he may say, well, that's good, you're criticizing me. One should criticize their teachers, or, the people who they are, going to for guidance, or whoever's material that they're, considering or learning from. One should question. And if the teacher is of merit, well, they'll be able to handle criticism easily. I think Alan Watts would perhaps be around that type of route, and he may even say, like, I criticize because, like, I think as this could be slightly. I'll put this through ChatGPT. ChatGPT, could you please fact check this? Please fact check this and do a thorough analysis, elaborate fact check analysis, and also elaborate it from my point of view, true to the speaker as well. So Alan Watts, he may even say, like, I criticized because he's doing a lot of philosophical inquiry and very, very adept at this, and perhaps other facets, other areas as well. But as I know him for, and I think a lot of people mostly know him for, is very skillful philosophical inquiry. I think also some basic meditation. But as far as I understand, he did not develop any kind of mind skill, or he didn't necessarily build a lot of life force energy, and he was smoking a lot. And ChatGPT, please fact check whether this is true or not. And he apparently, towards the end of his life, he started drinking a lot of alcohol, a little bit of alcohol, or a lot, or moderate, or I'm not too sure what the amount or the frequency or the circumstances were. But anyway, if a person had genuine mind power and we're building energy, and we're very adept at this kind of psychic power kind of development, why would they be smoking? Why would they be why would they need to drink alcohol? If they had opened up that kind of awareness, they would you would see something much greater, much better than that. It's not to say that, enjoying a cigarette, or a spliff, or a bong hit, glass of wine, shot of whiskey, a little bit here and there, it's fine. If people enjoy that, sure, many do, I do. But again, very, very less and very, very infrequent. But yeah, so that's that. But it's not to say that philosophical inquiry and this kind of mental exercise isn't useful. It obviously damn well is, and it's proven very much so for myself as well, and especially when I get into a, let's say, altercation, or someone disagrees with me, and usually it turns out that they don't see clearly where I'm coming from. Usually it could be me as well. It could be I can't claim to be omnipotent and all knowing and all that. So sure, it could be me as well. But quite often it seems to turn out that the person they did not necessarily they weren't able to see things from my point of view, and they were very much fixed on certain points of view, which from their point of view is incongruent with what I'm saying. But for example, I had this sort of the thing is, so I've explained this as well, is that I'm doing some qigong, doing some meditation, and I'm also starting to get a very entry-level perception of this, building this energy. And there is a word of caution that is advised with this, and with many Taoist, yogic, other meditation, energy building, energy work. There is a word of caution. It's like because you're building up a lot of energy, your mind needs to be in the right place, and you need to be able to basically synchronize your brain hemispheres. You need to be able to relax the mind. If you can't relax the mind and you build up a lot of energy, then it just short circuits through all of the pathways that are basically tense, but it just means that there's short circuits between the two brain hemispheres. You're thinking about stuff that happened in the past with your left brain hemisphere, and your right brain hemisphere is creatively analyzing that, and this is causing a lot of mental energy. And if you do manage to build chi and you have this, it's just going to go up there and it's not going to do you any good. So the mind needs to be in the right place. But having said that, no one's perfect, and when you build up chi, you are going to, these small little kinks in the brain waves of the mind that are not smoothed out. When the chi builds up, it's going to become more clear. You're going to probably experience a little bit of irritability, even insomnia, and even potentially more serious things than that. You could even experience mild or even serious psychological problems, issues through qigong, But anyway, and I did too. I did too experience some mild psychological issues, some insomnia, irritability, these things. It started to happen. But I felt quite confident that I'm just going to keep building up my energy, and eventually it's going to smooth out. I'm going to continue also doing some physical workout so that the chi has somewhere to go, and do lots of stretching and relaxation exercise, tai chi, and things to smooth the chi and make it let the chi actually go through a full circulation, so that there's an upstream and a downstream, and it's not just building up and building too much heat in the dantian, and it's gonna really it needs to you need to be able to let it go, so that it can actually pressurize the bubble and not just short circuit and the beginning phases of Qigong, you will feel these little zzz, 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 and like little muscle twitching, and inside it'll start heating up here, heating up there. You know, this thing twitching here, this thing twitching there, and even on the when the Yongchuan starts to open up, you'll feel the vibrations on the feet start trembling, and then it'll start trembling up. But this is just the beginning phase. As the chi is the energy is building up more and is pushing through the kinks and the things, and it's pushing its way through, and it's the energy system, the body, the physical body, the muscles, the fascia, even the tendons, the bones, the ligaments, everything. The energy is moving through, and so it's going to have to basically it's reshaping your whole body. And initially there's going to be some like energy sensations, but it's not something that's going to last. When the body has become more conductive and can become more kind of hollow to conduct the energy, then the energy is going to start to pressurize the bubble, and then when you build energy, it just pressurizes the bubble so that you can use the pure potential to do what you for various functions, for self-defense, for martial arts, for healing, for manifestation, for, I don't know, magic if you want to use it for that, but or a higher spiritual purpose, connecting with God, even doing God's work. There's so many things you could use this for, really. So that's genuine. That's the process of real Gong, real energy work, and how it works in the body, and the lungs start to connect, and the lungs start to connect with there, and it's a very tangible electrical and magnetic, and even some gravitational effects thing. It's not just visualization. There is no visualization with true development of real Gong. Okay, but so philosophical inquiry. People who are really adept at that, such as Alan Watts, they can philosophize and although they might not have a direct, because they haven't necessarily developed that much mind power, so that and you need mind power, or let's just say mind skill. Some people don't like the word power. Oh, look, God has power, right? And God is good, right? And human beings can also develop power. Human beings can also be good. So when you have a very good philosophical inquiry skill, and you're very good at philosophy, you've read a lot of Buddhist sutras, Taoist, the Tao Te Ching, and a lot of this kind of thing, and Vedic scriptures, Taoist texts, all these different type of things. Let's say Greek philosophy is also excellent, and various other philosophies is also very, very excellent. So, because this is philosophical inquiry, this brings me to a kind of a argument I would say I think it's the person obviously had some biases, there's just so many, the world is a complicated place right now, and people, because not everyone understands how to really open up the space, this emptiness in their mind, from which to actually just observe everything that's going on without energizing the brain in every way, just being aware, like if you were standing here with me right now, actually we can use our mind power to observe the state of our waves, frequency, and energy. Without even speaking, we can know quite a lot about each other. And when you develop good mind skill, you don't even need to speak. You can basically use kind of telepathy, actually. So, but philosophical inquiry as a mental exercise is still very useful when, for example, you get into someone misunderstands you. They get emotional because you may very well be revealing a deeper layer of the human experience. You may very well be correct about certain truths, and your purpose, your mission may very well be pure, and you may very well be doing God's work, or higher power, universal creation, love, how you want to call it. You may very well be there, be on the right. You may very well be on the right path, but still, other people who are somehow overwhelmed, caught up with the complexities of the world, and sold into a particular cure. Like, some people think the cure is communism. Some people think the cure is socialism. Just make the whole world socialist, and then it'll be fine. Whereas there's no real cure. The cure is when everyone can actually just let go and see things for what they are, and start to see the situation, and actually use their mind, use their body, mind, energy, and spirit in an efficient way to actually solve problems. So, but unfortunately, a lot of people are sold into these collectivist sort of remedies, which we can see it's never worked. It's always resulted in just mass, imbalance and divide between and consolidation of power in the government, and it's basically putting the will of the majority over the will of the individual. The well-being of the majority, or the well-being of the whole planet, is just the most important thing in the. And so if any one individual starts complaining, then it's just like, you should be thinking about you should be, how are you doing your part to benefit the collective, So, not to say that there isn't anything that we should think about I don't know. Now I'm going into like this mental exercise, which I don't like to do, because I'm more about the genuine psychic ability, more about the genuine mind power here, more about genuinely building energy. But anyway, when you have good philosophical inquiry and you can see things from multiple points of view all at the same time, and then when a person, let's say you are on the right path, but the person has just vested interest in different things because they've been sold into certain narratives which are being pumped out by certain authority people in high positions who are trying to siphon off everyone's energy and money and things for their distorted cause. Let's say you are on the right path, but the other person misunderstands you. How do you ethically, or even, how do you get it across? How do you basically remove the element of the mental exercise? How do you just make it so that you can both see it for what it is? It is actually philosophical inquiry. It's very useful. And so it's simple. It's that whatever they are deciding to say about you or misunderstand about you, you just reverse it on them, and you may not even know specifically how what they are saying about you will apply to them. You don't necessarily know, because you don't know, unless you can't necessarily see what they're going through in their life, and what shortcomings and and things they have, but you simply by asking the question, they're already going to consider that, right? So you simply use philosophical inquiry to kind of do a mirror effect, and then that when that is done and you are in this open space, and then suddenly things will actually, if you do this well, things will actually just, and now we just see each other for, we can see each other for what it is, and we can see she can see, they can see their biases, okay? They will be able to see past their biases. So philosophical inquiry is very useful to help people to see past their biases.